By the show of hands, if you know somebody that's incarcerated right now, locked up, whether it's the county jail, whether it's juvenile detention center, put your hands in the air. By show of hands, if you know somebody who ended up dying in the last year in Cumberland County, it can be car accident, gunshots, or anything, put your hands in the air. Now, this last question is very important. We talked about if you knew somebody that was incarcerated. We talked about if you knew somebody that's no longer here. I've seen about 65% of the hands go up. With that being said, by the show of hands, if you had any type of therapy based around that trauma, because a lot of times we hold trauma that we don't realize we're holding because we're taught to tough it up. You got somebody that played football since 6 years old, now they're a senior in high school, they've been playing football for 12 years, and all they ever heard was tough it up, men don't cry. Get back on the football field, arm broken, everything. So with that being said, how many actually went to a therapist to talk about that person that's no longer here, to talk about that person that you love that's also incarcerated? By a show of hands, if you went to some type of therapy to talk about it, put your hands in the air. You see that, sir? Yeah. You see that, right?
Yeah, all that trauma. Nobody got
So understand this. You guys are still babies in the world. And I mean that respectfully. You're intelligent, you're getting ready to run the world through technology and the whole nine. Now imagine someone 45 years old that never got therapy. Somebody that's 50 years old that never got therapy. They say hurt people hurt people. Well, guess what? People that don't have therapists, guess what? They don't know how to tell the next person to go get a therapist. So now that son, that daughter of that parent that never sat down one-on-one with a therapist, they don't know how to talk to their son or daughter and say, hey, you might need help. You might be going through some type of trauma. So guess what it does? It just spreads around. It's a revolving door. It spreads around. So is nothing wrong with talking to someone. You talk to your friends. You talk about what's on IG. You talk about what's on social media. You talk about the trending facts. What's wrong with talking about someone to help you so you can progress in life? A lot of times we stop ourselves from progressing in life because of the internal things that we hold year after year after year after year. And before you know it, it just becomes an everyday thing that we're used to carrying. It's just like carrying your book bag. The first time you carried your book bag, you probably say, whoa, this is a lot of books. This feels heavy. But by the time you got into your third month or your fourth month in school, you was used to carrying them books. You actually even put more books in there. That's what life does. We carry so much on our shoulders that we get used to carrying it on our shoulder, whether it's negative or positive. We don't separate the two. We just go on and continue to life. As life is lifing, we are following that trend. Take some of them books out of your book bags. Take some of them verbal books, them mental books out of your book bag of life. And sit down and speak to someone, school counselors, principals, parents, anybody that's willing to hold you accountable as well as hold their self accountable. Talk to them. And I guarantee you a lot of times this will help you progress in your grades. Some of you are studying your growth. Some of you stand at a C simply because you have too many book bags in your too many books in your mental book bag. So some of you don't know how to get from a C to a B. Some don't know how to get from a B to an A. It's not about you studying. It's about you releasing a lot of that unwanted baggage that you're carrying.